Welcome back, everybody, to Two Guys, Three Crowns, the podcast about what it's really like to live in Stockholm, Sweden. Join me, Sean, and my fellow American Rodney as we explore the good, the bad, and the just plain weird.
I want your love and I want your revenge. You and me could make a bad romance. I want your love and your lover's revenge. You and me could make a bad romance. Ba 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 ba.
I like it. I like
So
it.
the reason I'm dropping a little gaga right now is that I wasn't there at that show.
No.
We have the in-laws in town.
Right.
So Renata and I could go to different shows on the same day, which just so happened to be Dylan's birthday.
Okay.
But it was like well after he was going to sleep anyway. So I've had these tickets for Gojira, which is like a French, like super heavy metal band out of France and all that stuff. So because of COVID, they've had to reschedule a few times. And that just so happened to arrive on the same day that Gaga came to Sweden, to Stockholm.
Okay.
So it was like perfect timing for the grandparents to be here and figure out how to put Dylan to sleep and all that stuff. So then we went our separate ways. Like it couldn't be more opposite concerts at the same time, but it worked out.
It sounds like it. It would make for like an interesting mashup, you know, like a.
Yeah, I mean, from all of like the heavy double bass drums to it would make an interesting mashup.
Okay. Hey, you know what my backup song? Do you want to hear what my backup song was?
Yes, I need to know.
Okay.
Oh,
the heat is on, but sauce is not. Your luggage may be gone, but yeah, what crazy, and we're back. This is our first episode. We've been on vacay for a couple of weeks, and
I know Rodney's got, for everyone at home who can't see right now, Rodney has a definite Hawaiian glow, Hawaiian tropical in the mix right now.
And I got my I'm getting fluffy. My hair, I got to get my hair cut. I'm getting fluffy. I just let it go. Since I'm not doing anything after the podcast, I'm going to go with the old, you know, the headphone.
Absolutely.
The headphone wave on the hair.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So please tell us, where have you been? How long has it been? I don't even know what to update you on which travel catastrophe I've experienced.
Well, we stayed in country. So, being the self-employed person that I am, you know, everybody went there. Oh, Sweden, everybody has 5 weeks of paid vacation. If you're employed, if you're self-employed, that doesn't really do it. So anyway,
then you technically have 365 days of vacation if you really want it.
Absolutely. I would be probably pretty tan and broke and hungry.
But you would be tan.
Yeah. Yes. I would be. But no. So we knew going into vacation that I was basically going to have 2 weeks. That's what we had decided. I was going to do 2 weeks because I can kind of shift my own work days and schedule. So I could, you know, we could still do like a long weekend.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and I can still get in, since I'm such an effective worker. But so we were down in Åhus. We took off down to Skåne to the summer cabin down there.
Nice.
And weather was a little, it was doing, you know, the Swedish dance where it was, you know, hot and sunny, and then it was not as hot and sunny. But this year, the water temperature this year, in the shifting that was going on, because Lena used to tell me, she says, well, it makes a difference if the wind is blowing into the coast or if the wind is blowing out.
Okay.
Hey, this year, the water didn't get the memo, because I'm pretty sure that it was hovering around like 10 degrees.
Oh,
You know, and
oh,
even on the hot days where it was beaming down and sun and the beach was like packed, there were ne'er people, and the people were not going
like you
near
put
the
that one
water.
foot in, you're like, nope, 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 nope.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. That's all that's happening.
It's like putting in a couple of toes and getting that chest, you know, where your chest just where you can't
It's
breathe.
called shock.
Yeah.
Shock.
Yeah. Hey, and it's pretty much your body telling you that no, we shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, it's already too late. You need to back up right now.
Right, right. No, so you know, we were down there, and my mom was with us for. She came down and she spent 4 days with us down there. She hadn't been down there since our wedding, which
Oh, nice.
is a couple of years ago now. And so we took her around, showed her a little bit around, and then we did a little 25th anniversary getaway,
Cool.
like a overnight spa thing that Lana had found. The Honulele Spa.
Honulele.
Yeah, so
That sounds
they
legit.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they had hibiscus decals on stuff, and you know, it was no pineapple on the food. But just to summarize, it's the place is called the Lodge, and Lena had found it, I believe, in like one of the Skåne magazine.
Nice.
It's like Skåne has. So that was on the radar, and we went ahead and booked it and had a great getaway. And I'm trying to think, is there like a New England? Everything was like whitewashed, and there was like a nautical kind of a theme.
Yeah,
is
sounds
like
very New England. Shiplap with like the
right?
whitewash going on, and like just
Yeah,
a net in a corner, and
Yeah. Okay, then that's definitely where we landed. There was like an American flag pillow on the beds, and
well, see, they knew that you were coming. You're a celebrity now. You play a
well, that's what-
diplomat
hey,
on
that's-
TV,
that's
right?
They're like, hey, I think that's the guy from the Two Guys, Three Crowns podcast.
I've seen him on SVT.
Exactly.
he
It's either
plays
that
an
or the most
American
wanted.
diplomat.
Yeah, most wanted posters. I think. No, it was really nice. Weather was so, but we did the spa thing. Here is something that hit me. An episode or two ago, I brought up the fact that I'm a little sensitive skin wise. I try and be a little careful with perfumed, you know, lotions and stuff like that.
Oh God.
Yeah. But of course, when you go through the spa ritual, I mean, that's where these hotels and spa places are trying to sell you in on everything, you know. And we were in there for, I don't know, like an hour plus. I'm going to say an hour plus.
Right.
And spending, and you know, and she was like, oh, and now you're going to go ahead and do this algae, sandpaper, honeydew, avocado, you know, thing, and
WD-40 whack.
yeah. But I must be like the worst, like the nightmare client for that, because I'm like, oh no, thanks, I'm just going to stick with water, you know. And it was me, Lena, two other women friends, three younger girls, which of one was expecting. So I was like the dude in this whole thing. And I just kept on saying, oh no. And she's like, it's just honey. Just put not. Well, yeah.
It's not because I'm a guy. It's because I have things with my skin. Let me do my thing. But
Right.
let me tell for everybody at home, Rodney has buried the lead on this entire podcast
Uh-oh, here we go.
because we always ask
Oh, no.
people, what is like the one destination that you would go, that you would recommend for like a tourist who's in Stockholm for 24 hours? And everyone always says Vasa. And yes, that's true for 24 hours. But if you're here for a week and you're in Stockholm, you got to spend at least a day in this Japanese spa out in Nacka called
Ooh.
Yasuragi.
Yes.
I've been there before once on like a day spa pass, and Hinata got like a early birthday present for me of like spending the night over at the hotel, and the beds are just like, oh, and you just get to experience other things that you don't get to do on like the day spa pass. And then I'm talking to Rodney right before we go, and he's like, oh yeah, Lena used to manage the spa. I'm like, what? This is like the greatest spa in the entire country of Sweden.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh yeah. She kind of won like employee of the year for all the hotels. It's no big deal. I'm like, bro, simple flex. What? Like, give me all the tips. I need everything right now.
Right. Yeah. And it's funny, and I remind Lena about that because you know how we get caught up in the daily grind, and we're just spinning and going tick, and we forget to look back and reflect and appreciate on stuff. And I remind Lena, about the Yasuragi adventure that she had. You talk about perks, being able to. Now, I like the places that she's currently, in charge of, swimming pools and, in the facilities and things like that. But Yasuragi Spa, I remember the first time that I went for a visit, and I was just like, oh yeah, they're going to be like
completely transported to somewhere else. It's like another world.
Yeah, they're gonna. I was so worried because I was thinking that that management is eventually going to tell Lena that your husband has to go home. He can't just be hanging out all day, with
the whole stay this time. I'm like looking around at everything. I'm like, Lena probably came up with that idea. She probably invented that. She's the manager for everywhere. But like the legacy is living on. I was like, how has he not told me about this?
Right. Hey, Lena actually, they went to Japan.
Yeah, you can tell.
Yeah. But that's what the staff and they have a couple of requirements. Basically that you stay and work at the hotel if you do go, on this trip. But they will, they brought the employees there, the cooks and the people working in various departments, just so that they could experience
the real
Japan.
deal. Yeah.
So,
you can tell it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So.
But you guys had a good time. What was your favorite part?
Oh no, there were these that you don't have in the spa.
Okay.
So you have in the hotel area. If you go all the way down after the lobby area where you check in and check out, you go all the way down the stairs and you don't go off to the side hallways. There's like 6 massage. I wouldn't even call them chairs. They're like beds, because you just like recline back and then you can like set every single muscle. They'll find everything to like hyper vibrate. And then you're just like,
I'm going to stay in
and
this chair.
in front of you is this wall of windows, like almost 180 degrees up over your head. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And so you're just like taking in just complete nature. You don't see anybody. And then you have all the vibrations and you're just like, you're just in another world.
Yeah. And then it's like back to the homestead.
Yeah. Well, the thing that made that possible is that I have the in-laws here for 2.5, 3 weeks.
Yeah. Built-in babysitters.
I know. And it's like, as we were talking about last night, Hinata and I, we can spend a night and we're not like counting the hours that we're like racking up charges. You know what I mean? So it's priceless, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Before we switch subjects, what about food? What did you guys do dinner-wise?
So
I got to hear about the food.
Yes,
I gotta
the
hear
food.
About the
so I had Hinata had like the maki rolls with like crab on top for the appetizer. What did I have? I had the salmon tartare, which was I won that round because the salmon tartare was just incredible. Hinata won the mains because she had the fried chicken.
Oh, okay.
And it was like Japanese fried chicken. And it was like when you cut through the pieces to get like a bite-sized piece, you could feel the
crunch of the,
and you're just like, oh no, come on. But I ordered grilled squid and what came out was octopus. Okay. I'm like, I am so happy with this substitution right now. Right. But still, I think Hanata's grilled chicken edged me up by a little bit just because it was that crispiness and it's another thing. And then I got it was like a meringue kind of dessert, and Hanata got a miso chocolate brownie.
Ooh, okay.
So then it was kind of like a split decision. Hanata kind of like mine because mine came with a lot of fruit, and then hers was like the salty chocolate thing.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
And then and the breakfast spread is pretty amazing.
Oh yeah, it was great. I mean, I couldn't eat anything because like you're so relaxed, you're so just chill in the moment, and the beds, and you wake up, and we wanted to go to 8:30 before everyone starts, like the heavy traffic starts coming in. And then they have like Japanese omelet and eggs, and then like the usual Swedish thing, like the breads and cucumber and peppers and a couple cold cuts and stuff like that. But yeah, we wanted to go to the fruit bar as well, but then it was just like, I
stuffed.
I can't eat anything.
I can't. Please don't make me.
So that was it. But it was just like every room you go into there, like it smells so good. Like everything's properly scent branded. It's just like, so nice.
Yeah, the soaps and the shampoos and stuff. And I know that Lena's mom, we actually have the Yasuragi, the soap, at the cabin down in Aarhus. So in the shower, and when we run out, we buy more. But there's something about that soap that's just, it doesn't take much. But once I smell that, then I'm transported.
Takes you right back. Exactly.
Transported.
Hey, you're not flying for the rest of the summer, right?
Bro, I am about as stationary can be. I'm just going to stick with letting the train screw up. I'm not going to even, that's enough.
Good,
that's enough for me.
Don't. It's a disaster.
Yeah.
We originally took a summer holiday break because I was supposed to go to Croatia.
Okay.
Remember that idea?
No,
didn't happen.
No, that's right. Yeah. You had to change your plans.
Strike.
Yeah.
That was great. I'm like, can we, does anybody else have a problem in the world right now? Can we just put it all on the table and get it done with now, please? Yeah. We got this idiot over in Russia screwing up things in Ukraine. The SAS pilots want to go on strike. Let's just all put it on the table now. Let's get it done with, and let's get over it and move on. Yeah. Honestly, people.
Temperatures are going ballistic.
I know, we got problems, man. Like, let's just get it done with and let's move on. Honestly. Right. And then they're like, oh, yeah. And then inflation. I'm like, man, I don't have time for your inflation. Get out of here. Get out of here with that.
Like, everybody just empty your karma pockets. Just empty out. Just get all the lint. Get all of the.
I mean, I thought I was safe because I don't eat that much beef anyway. And then the in-laws came, and then it's like every 2 days we're eating like picanha.
Oh,
and I'm like,
Ka-ching.
Oh my God, my body can't take this much red meat right now. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. And the price of red meat's not going down, so
no, but it's all over the place. Like, we went to the Coop, also known as Co-op.
Oh, okay.
Cooperative.
Sean, coming with the word.
We got a rig beef that was like a big piece, like kind of what's the other one they call? It's like French. It's Francisque.
Francisque.
Yeah, I don't exactly know what it is, but it looks like it's for stews or like when you slow cook it.
It's big.
Yeah. So, but like rig beef, normally that's like New York strip, depending on how they cut it, because rig beef can be a couple different things. So, but then they had like the big rig beef that was, I don't know, half a kilo, but it was half a price per kilo than the already sliced one. And I'm talking to my father-in-law, and he's like, I'm going to slice it anyway. I'm like, yeah. And we're going to need all this weight to serve all these people.
Right.
So do these people realize, like, are we stupid buying this one, or like there's got to be a scam somewhere that I haven't quite figured out?
Yeah, yeah. It's one of those things that's so weird that you just know you're getting screwed somewhere in the
Yeah,
process. It's
exactly.
like,
You're just like,
are they going to get me on the plastic bag? Is that the, you know?
have they injected salmonella directly into this one? Like, what is the matter with
Does
this? There's
something
gotta be
happen
some
halfway
problem.
home? Yeah. Yeah, no, the red meat thing too. And when I was back in the States, I know that I did the usual Costco run.
Oh,
And, you know, you go by the meat section. And before, I used to just stand there, you know, for 5 and 10 minutes and just take it in, you know, just the visuals and the whole thing. But it's funny. I mean, after this many years of being here, you know, I used to run to get prime rib when I went home before. Now I just kind of know that it's like putting your stomach through like a 20K, you know, thing. So nothing bad on it. Nothing bad. I can still do a little bit of teriyaki steak, but those big honking pieces of meat. And then when we moved to Sweden, and I didn't know what any of the names, the cuts, like you said, it's like okay, well, it looks kind of like
Tegrev beef rib and
it looks like a
rig
cheek.
beef. Just like
it looks like a cheek.
yeah, it's red, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that.
Hey, little D man just turned 3, which
He did.
blows me away. For one, just because he's 3 and he wasn't around when we started the podcast.
And you were at his second birthday party.
But
which seems not a year ago.
Yeah.
But somehow it was a year ago. You trust me, this one was the kids took over party.
Okay.
This was not like a share the adults still kind of era of like, oh, we're gonna be like chilling and then we like do, and he doesn't really understand what's going on. No, he understands what's going on, and he's still asking for, as I quote, mais presente, dada, mais presente, more presents, dada. I'm like, bro, you opened them all. I've told you this 18 times, and then
the store is empty. The store is empty.
Yeah, you've opened everything. You've even gotten toys from your friends.
Right.
It was lots of Paw Patrol, let me tell you.
Okay.
I'm on Paw Patrol overload. I'm like, let's find another cartoon, please. Let's do a little Bluey.
Yeah,
he's like, let's get a little Australian flavor going on, but let's do something different.
Yeah. Nope.
Yeah.
Wasn't having it. Wasn't having it.
Yeah, no. But it was good. It was like, it's like a relief that it's over. That's what I can say.
Right. Isn't it funny how it kind of gets to that?
I know. It gets to the point, like in the middle of the party, you're just like, okay, now everyone can get the hell out of my house. I'm like done with it. It's over. We're good.
Almost had to beep you. Almost had to beep you there.
I know. I caught myself.
Yeah. Speaking of trauma, Lena sent me an article before I had a chance to see it. Surströmming. There is actually surströmming. There's like this. Wow, I'm so used to my Swedish vocabulary building up.
You're a citizen now. You know, you gotta have that vocabulary.
Yeah. I wasn't. There's a problem with the little fishes. No, they're just not getting.
The supply chain issues are hitting the surströmming.
I think they get like 100,000 tons, and this year it's like 1/10 of what it is. So
it's become a luxury product.
No, I mean, like they might be shutting down. Like one of the main distributors of surströmming. When I read the article, it looks like they're not gonna make it. It has to do with different fishing quotas and what's happening here and there. But still, 1/10 of what they got last year. So we got to get it while the getting's good.
We're going to be paying like caviar prices and not like tube caviar prices, like real
for surströmming. Yeah, that's kind of a scary idea right there. Any big music stuff in the pipes, in the works?
I don't know if we have anything left other than Tom Jones at Grunaloon, but I was trying to figure out when was the last time we talked. We've been to Red Hot Chili Peppers. We've been to, I was at Gojira's and not at Lady Gaga. I was just like, what's the last update that I need to give to you?
Yeah. That was, but do you have something, is there more like in the pipe? Is there stuff coming up? More concert stuff?
The last two that we have are going to be Tom Jones on August 3rd, 4th, beginning of August. I think it's the 3rd, the day after my birthday.
Okay.
And then we have Bad Religion on like the 15th, which is like an old school punk band,
Right.
It's going to be like, I'm going to be a young person in the audience for that one. It's going to be like Santana, but punk.
Yeah. I told you when I went to go see Rush, and, there was definitely, it was fathers in leather jackets with what I'm assuming it was their daughters. But,
hey, you never know.
Just to be nice.
You never know.
But I definitely realized that Rush was an older band.
But the thing about those older bands too is that when they play a show, especially like a Grunaloon, they have so many hits in the catalog.
Right.
That every single song that they play on the show. Yeah. And it's another level of like party kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like that's when I went to Nile Rodgers. I had no idea he had written so many hits. And he's doing like We Are Family, and like then he transitions into, it's the most sampled song in history. He transitions into like Rapper's Delight, and then it was just like party.
So much music.
Yeah. And the same thing when they had Sting. Like, who is booking these people that they're like legendary acts?
Yeah.
Like whoever's doing that over there is like a master of their craft.
And why are artists not saying no? It's like everybody's
coming. I don't want to know why they're not saying no. It's just to keep them coming. Keep them coming.
Right. Just don't do anything to the price that I'm paying.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. Duplantis, Armand Duplantis. Not sure if you're watching any of the World Championships. Broke a record early this morning, I'm gonna say.
High jump for the track and field.
Pole jumping, and he's breaking records left and right. But he just set another one this morning,
man.
Yeah, and here's a little surprising tidbit. He has a brother named Antoine, who plays baseball and who has just agreed to play for the Swedish national team. And he's like, I'm going to go ahead and take a chance and say that he played for the Mets. But
the New York Metropolitans.
Yes. But he is, so he's bringing his skills to American baseball over here.
All right.
It's rocking. Hey, between that and now we're on TikTok, I went ahead and put.
Hey. The world's a changing. It keeps on a turning.
Hey, the funny thing was, Shiona wrote to me and she was like, "Oh, are you on TikTok?" And I was like, "I have an account, but I don't know if I'm going to put anything up." And then I finally went in, put something up, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm done." I'm like, I could.
Rodney's on Twitter all the time.
Mostly reading and not putting anything up because I'm
Get off. That's the problem. Get out of there.
You gotta press the post button and just run. Leave the room. Leave it. Run, duck.
All right, everybody, that is going to do it for this week's episode. It is so great to be back. Happy to have all of you here with us. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to go into whatever app you're listening to this podcast on right now. If you haven't already done so, leave us a review, give us a thumbs up, give us those 5-star ratings. It makes all the difference in the world. Then head over to our Instagram page. We always got something cool going on there. And come back here next time for more Two Guys, Three Crowns.